Can you calm down now?
Yeah. Okay, remember when I talked about how trouble comes in threes or bad luck comes in threes? First one was the price of lumber has gone up about 300%, and it's kind of a challenge figuring out what we're going to do with our porch roofs, which requires a good bit of lumber. I mean, what we had budgeted for both porches, material and labor before, now the material only for one porch is more than that. So we're still trying to figure out what we're going to do there because it's holding up our ability to finish the outside of the house. Second thing that was bad luck was the well. If you watched the last video, our well pump quit, and you can see that whole drama and what we had to do to get that handled. Third thing that happened was what this video is about, and that is about 6 weeks ago, we noticed when the drywallers were finishing the sheetrock that there was a crack in the very top, biggest custom shaped window that we have in this wall, this gable wall of windows. It's a crack about this long, stress crack. Don't know when it started or how it got there. I just noticed it then, but so we've been waiting to try and get a replacement glass unit, which is both panes of glass with the gasket and the gas inside. We've been waiting on that for about a month. They shipped it, the factory, the company that we bought the windows from called the factory that made that custom window because they jobbed that out to another company. And that company was not going to warrant it. So the company that we actually bought the window from, Sprouse Windows, they said, we will warrant it and we'll send you a new glass unit. So they did. I went to the distributor to pick it up, found out that it had been damaged in transit from the factory to the distributor, so they had to send another one. So we got the replacement to the replacement. We've finally gotten it here, got to get it in here. I'm going to set it up on here. And then we have to go up and get the old one out. It's supposed to be really windy. And get the new one in. So I've got, neighbors and friends hooked together. We're going to try and figure this out. We've already done one of these projects for another neighbor who has a very similar window. His is about the height of these picture windows. Mine is another probably 5 or 6 feet higher. So I had to set up all this scaffold, got it all strapped together so we have a good platform so we can get 2 or 3 people up there if we need to. And we have pump jacks set up outside for the soffit. Had them kind of leave that there until we knew we were going to get this window because that's going to be a huge help. But yeah, just one of those things, man. It just kind of threw a wrench into the production here and getting everything painted and whatnot. Also discovered I had a crack in the frame where the miter is at one of our double hung windows like this over there. It's not as big of a deal. It's just a hassle because it's on the first floor. It's kind of easy to get to. Sprouse again is replacing the frame, so I'm waiting on that to come in, but they've been a really great window company. So we're going to get things organized here and try and figure out how to get this window in. There may not be a lot of footage of it because we're going to be all hands on deck and nobody's going to be here to run the camera. So let's get to work.
Okay, well, on the list of crazy stuff, that's got to be up there, right? Got a 15-foot set of scaffolding next to a 12-foot set, and then that. So I'm about to go get the replacement window, gonna set it there, get everybody together. We're gonna build a little platform there, just make a little way to get it all the way up there, 15 foot in the air. So this may not look that high on camera, but when you're up here, it's pretty high. This window has a crack in it right about there. We don't know how it happened, but the inside pane has a little crack, and we've been waiting on the replacement piece of glass for about a month. It's finally in. I have to go pick it up and get it here safely, get it inside, and get it up there. I got to take this piece of glass out. I'm going to pull off the framing inside. We have to cut probably the double-sided tape that's on the outside to let the pane loose. Get the pane in, get it down there, and bring the new one up and get it in place. Been waiting on this for like a month and a half. Hopefully tomorrow we're gonna get it done. Okay, so we just picked up the window. It's not really packaged all that good. I mean, it's got some rubber around it, but it's just the IGU, you know, the glass unit with the two panes and the gas in between. So it's wrapped in cardboard. I put a bunch of 1-inch foam board around it, strapped it down to a pallet, and now we have to get it up the mountain over all the crazy bumpy junky roads. We're just going to take it easy and hopefully we get there in one piece. This is really nerve-wracking, but here we go. So when we pulled this thing out, it started to crack. So it's a good thing we had taped it all up, or it would have just fell apart as we were pulling it out. The crack was like, well, you can see it here. I think it went the whole way, and it broke. Crack. Right in half. Okay, the window's in. I could not ask for a better result. I stressed over this for like a couple weeks and it was super windy. So glad that's done. Now, I'm just going to use the scaffolding that's already there and finish painting this wall. And then I can tear that scaffolding down. I'll be so happy when we're done with the scaffolding stuff. Yeah, pretty good view from up here. It's been a couple days since we put this window in, and it rained last night. I wanted to come up and see, make sure no leaks, everything's good, everything's sealed, and it's looking good. So I'm glad to have this project done. Guess we're gonna have to move on back to painting now. Yeehaw. So that's gonna do it for this one. We appreciate you watching. See you in the next one.